What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to big time unboxing. As you can see from the thumbnail, we have got a lot of Star Wars vintage figures to unbox. And the thumbnail is actually even wrong. It says 22. We actually have 23 because I got another one today from Amazon. So here is the pile. I really doubt it's gonna not fall, but let's try to show you that I'm not lying on the amount of vintage collection figures I have. There you go. We are going to unbox every one of these, and I'm going to head over to the review table, take a look at each and every one, and I'm going to pick my top 5, which might be hard out of all of these because there's some good ones in here. You guys have seen most of these, but there are a few surprises. So we're going to sit here, we're going to unbox them. You're going to watch me. Of course, we'll speed it up because that would be long and boring. But let's get to it. Unboxing 23 Star Wars Vintage Collection action figures. All right, guys, there you go. That took a while. Between all the tiny weapons, I'm still getting reacquainted with 3 3/4. So between all the tiny weapons and getting 23 figures to stand in this shot wasn't easy. So let's get down to it. 23 figures, as you saw. Interesting things happened when I was unboxing them. I did not realize that Bo-Katan has 2 separate heads instead of a helmet. And then our little friend here, the heavy repeater Stormtrooper, his head came off in the middle of the packaging, as you guys saw there. So, interesting times with the vintage collection. But, some good ones in here. I don't think there's really a bad one in this bunch. And even if there was, it would probably be one of the ones I paid $4 for, so I can't really say it's bad. So let's get to it. Let's get down to narrowing it down. Who do I think is the worst figure? My least favorite's Queel. So Queel, I'm sorry, buddy. Let's see if we can focus here. He's still a good figure. He looks really good. I think the head sculpt's great. But, you know, I mean, if I had paid $17 for this, he's tiny. He's barely 3 inches, I think. But still a solid figure, but he's just my least favorite. So we'll set Queel down there. Next one is probably going to be the Bespin guard. Let's see if I can get to him without knocking anything down. Bespin guard. Still a cool figure. But again, one thing that bothers me about him, articulation's fine. Everything else does come with his weapon as you see it, but he doesn't come with a baton. And I remember back in the Power of the Jedi days, they would come with a baton and the gun, and I guess that's just a sign of the times. And this is just not a figure that I'm super excited about. So Bespin guard gets next on the list, because he's not number 2. Number 2 worst. How's that? But still, if you can find him for Ross, by all means, get him. Because he's worth the $4. That's for sure. Oh, boy. Like, there's a lot of good figures in here. I'll let you guys know that. I'm going to go with the Mythrol next. And it kind of, it's not that he's bad. It's that all these are so good. I mean, look at that head sculpt, though. It's great. And this guy's a little more solid than some of the others. Comes with a lot of accessories. I didn't include them all in this review, obviously, but I really like the paint on his head too. So again, he's definitely worth the $4 if you can find him at Ross, but don't pay 17. I don't think he's worth 17. So there you go, my thrall, third worst. And this is probably going to shock a lot of people, but my least favorite next is this guy, which is hard to believe because the Black Series one is so good. This one, as you can tell right there, pretty loose in the joints. I have another one where his leg's about ready to fall off. And I just don't really care for the way he moves and stuff. He looks good, but honestly, the Black Series definitely beat this one. The Vintage Collection one's not as good. I won't be getting any more of this guy. Two's enough. And you can tell, just as I'm moving him around, he's really loose. Kind of everywhere, unfortunately. So it's really a shame. And yeah, Black Series just beat it. So yeah, that's my next least favorite one. Which pains me, because I love the Black Series one. Next one is Bo-Katan. This has got good paint and stuff, but I don't like it that we have to swap out the heads. You know, I kind of like her holding her helmet and that sort of thing, and that was kind of weird how she doesn't have a removable helmet. It's a removable head. Paint's great. Articulation's good. Really watch out for you guys that are getting new in the Vintage Collection. Watch out for these blasters. They're itty-bitty. Easy to lose. Very tiny. So yeah, Bo's my next one, but again, $4, you can't complain too much. Next one's going to be our Haas Soldier. I actually have 8 more of these, but this one is a little depressing because in the 4-packs that you get, the helmet is removable. Plus, they come with rifles. So I think they kind of did this guy dirty as opposed to those 4-packs that are out as well. So, again, a good figure, like his blaster. Articulation is kind of lacking. This is an older one, so the articulation is not quite as great, but still a decent figure. All right. I would say my least favorite Stormtrooper is probably this one, the Repeater Stormtrooper. Not only because his head came off, but the articulation is tough to get him to hold his repeater with 2 hands, but it's still a really good figure. I mean, we're talking, you know, a bad figure out of all these good figures. He also does come with this cool little accessory, and then he comes with kind of a blast effect too. So, I mean, he's not bad, but if I have to pick between them, he's going down. Next, we're going to go Obi-Wan. This is, again, a little bit older figure. A good likeness, but a little stiff. Lightsaber's good. And again, not a bad figure, but just kind of not as good as some of these other ones. So we'll go Obi-Wan next. From there, man, it gets tough here. I think we're going to go Klatooinian Raider. The big problem I got with the Klatooinian Raider is, as you can see there, there's a gun already in his holster. Why is there a gun in his holster when he could have put the gun in his holster? It makes no sense at all. So I have no idea why they did that. It's still a very solid figure. He feels more solid to me than a lot of these other ones, though. So I will give him that. And again, $4. Can't go wrong for $4. All right. Let's come back. I'm gonna reset. Let's come back and we'll finish these out. All right, I noticed as I was doing that, a couple leaning, about ready to fall. The Artillery Trooper and the Super Commando did fall as soon as I turned off the camera. So we've reset. We're good to go. Next one is going to be Nien Nunb, however you want to say his name. Again, a very good figure. Not really anything wrong with it. He's just not quite as good as these other ones, but very solid. Great head sculpt. I like the reds. No paint smudging. Articulation's great. But again, a little bit older figure, as you can see there in the waist, but still a solid figure. Do like him, but he's not quite as good as all these. Next one's going to be Barriss Offee. This is the best Barriss that you can get. There's been a few others, but this is the best one. Most articulated, best likeness, best saber. So I definitely recommend this one if you don't have it. It's like $10 on Amazon. So again, not a bad figure, just doesn't quite stack up to some of these others. Next one, we're going to go with Aayla Secura. Same thing. Good figure. Comes with the cloak. There you go. Good looking figure. Moves well. Nothing wrong with her. She's just not quite as good as some of these other ones. Next one. Boy, tough. I'm going to go Artillery Trooper. Now, he does come with the same stuff as the Black Series one did. Paint's good. Again, really nothing wrong with him. Just, I have my favorites, and he's not really in the top 10. So there you go. Artillery Trooper does come with all the grenades and stuff. I've got those placed someplace else. But again, a good figure. I would recommend getting him. He's $12 on Amazon. So go get him if you're interested. All right, it gets tough now, guys. It gets really tough. Okay, so I'm going to go with Commander Colt. And this is kind of my fault. So unfortunately, when I was unboxing him, the rangefinder popped off and I cannot find it. So that kind of sucks. So it's not the figure's fault he's this slow. It's my fault, but still a really cool figure. But this is really just a repaint of every ARC Trooper that we've already got. The Lambent Trooper, as you can see, the Havoc up there. So I just like the Havoc's colors better than Colt's. Next one we are going to go with, and it pains me to do this because I really like this figure, Carbonized Shore Trooper. Love the colors on this. Absolutely phenomenal. The reason I got the carbonized is because I love the colors so much. Really well done. Again, he feels a little more solid than a lot of these other figures. That's why he's up higher, but definitely recommend these. Again, $12 on Amazon. If you guys are interested in that. All right, so we are down to the top 8 now. So who's not going to make the top 5? Wow, who's not going to make the top 5? All right. Mandalorian. I can't remember if this is the command. This is a commando of some kind. Super Commando's there. I think it's just regular commando. Again, pretty good, but he's just not as good as Pre and the Super Commando. It's really the only reason. But again, a very solid figure. Moves well. Much better than the Death Watch. So that kind of sucks, though, because I really like the Death Watches. All right. The next one we are going to take a look at is going to be Lord Maul. One of the better Mauls, 3 3/4 inch Mauls. Done very good. Good face sculpt. Nothing wrong with it. He's just not my favorite. And I'm not super crazy about this outfit. I know he's Clone Wars, but again, I'm not the craziest about that outfit. All right. One more has to go. Who's it going to be? Well, it's going to be old Havoc. Now, don't get me wrong. This is the best looking ARC Trooper that I have between the Lambent Seeker and Colt and Havoc. But Havoc just doesn't quite beat out these other ones for me. So there you go. There's Havoc. So there you go. There's your top 5. If we're going to order these top 5, we are going to go with the Stormtrooper coming in the 5th spot. Love it. Just as good as the Black Series. Phenomenal figure. He's number 5. Number 4 is going to be our Grand Inquisitor. Very, very well done figure. Like it better than the Black Series. Really well done. And look at that. He comes with an extra hilt. Face sculpt's great. Love that figure. Looks phenomenal. Number 3. Going to be our Super Commando. Again, the best Mandalorian, I think, next to Pre. Done very well. Love that figure. Excellent job. Top 2. Well, we're going to give it to Pre. So, Krennic, look at that face sculpt. That face sculpt did it. He looks phenomenal. Love this figure. You guys probably knew this was coming. Krennic's got number 2. Number 1 is Pre Vizsla. Everything the Black Series should have been, where it failed, Pre Vizsla takes the cake. Let's take his helmet off for you. Phenomenal head sculpt for a 3 3/4 inch figure. Look at that. Beautifully done. Hasbro, I give you kudos. I'm not even mad that I paid $17 for this. So there you go. Pre Vizsla, you are the champion. Stand alone, my friend. If he'll stand. There you go. Pre Vizsla's number 1, guys. All right, there you go. There's the top 23. That was an exhausting video, but I hope you guys liked it because I put a lot of work into this one. So next video will be a toy hunt. Next video after that will be us making our 3 3/4 inch Star Wars battle scene. I'm going to call it the Battle of Yukon. I think that's a good name. We're mixing things up a little bit. and I think it's gonna be good. So we're gonna go through it step by step, what I'm thinking and what I'm doing with this big battle scene I'm creating. I am happy I'm back in 3 3/4 inch Star Wars. I think it was the right move. I think the vintage collection's pretty solid. Again, try not to pay retail for too many. I think I paid retail for 2 of those guys. For the top 2, actually, for Krennic and for Pre-Vizsla. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.